and welcome to today's YouTube episode. On today's sewing adventure I'm going to be sharing some of my latest makes and talking through a couple of plans and a work in progress. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be sharing with you today is what I'm actually wearing. This is one of my latest makes. So this is the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel dress. This is the second time I have made this dress. I recently wore the other dress, the other Mabel dress that I've made, and I really loved wearing it, so I thought I should make another one because it's so easy to wear, it's so comfortable. Obviously it's got all these lovely shirring details which are fun to make, but also very comfortable to wear as well. And because it's got this lower neckline in the front and also in the back, it's actually very cool to wear as well. Now the fabric that I made this one out of is this lovely, it's a viscose fabric. It's a very beautiful floral with greens and kind of magentas and pinks. And I got this one from the fabric shop in Otara like 2 years ago, so it's been in my stash for ages. So it was really great to get it out and to make this dress. I love this fabric. When I first bought it, I thought it was so beautiful, but I just hadn't been able to decide what to make from it. So I was really happy to finally settle on the Mabel dress. To complete the shirring and to construct the dress, I actually used the Aurifil threads in the 50 weight. I don't know if you can see, but it's this really lovely magenta colour thread that I used. And that worked really nicely. Obviously, when you do shirring, you have the normal cotton or thread on the top, and then you have the elastic behind. So that is what I've done. So that is the first thing I'm sharing today, and it is really lovely and cool to wear. It's quite hot today. I do have the window open, so if you heard noises, then that's what that is. Unfortunately I can't stop that from happening, but it is quite warm up here, so that's what that is. Hopefully there's not too much noise though. So I'm going to work my way through what is on the rack. As I said, I also have some fabrics, plans that I'd like to share with you afterwards, and a work in progress that's really lovely and exciting too. So the next thing I'm going to share with you today is this. It is this lovely Flur dress. This is the Fabric Godmother Flur dress in a Fabric Godmother print. It is their Linnea floral print. And this one is in a cotton lawn fabric. Really beautiful, really lovely structure, very cool to wear as well, really comfortable. And what I really like about the Flur dress is it's got these lovely tie details down the front, but it actually has quite a deep placket on it. So you aren't exposing anything when you're wearing it. That placket is actually it's got really good coverage, and it makes it much more comfortable to wear. Because, well, for me anyway, some people wouldn't want the placket, but for me, I'm not as conscious wearing it, so that's really good. It's also got a lovely full skirt and really big spacious pockets, which we all love in all of our dresses. I decided to finish this one with this, my favourite new make tag from Specky Seamstress. It's really beautiful. And I didn't use the fabric for the binding, I just used plain cotton binding tape. I find that I do that a lot on my makes, and it saves using the actual fabric, which as we know can be quite expensive. And I think I bought this one for maybe £3 for 5 meters. So that's a really good tip if you are new to sewing and you don't want to use your lovely expensive fabric, you want to save your scraps for something else. You could actually use this just plain binding, or a binding similar to the colour of your fabric. So this one has already had a few outings. I have loved wearing it. It's super comfy, and on those warm days it's absolutely perfect. I would love to make another Flur dress. I am not sure about the puffy sleeves for me. Maybe I'll make one with puffy sleeves, but I really love the sleeveless version, and I can also see it being worn, maybe not in these colours, but maybe a slightly different colour scheme, being worn in winter with a long sleeve top underneath it and leggings and boots. I think that that could actually work really nicely as well. So definitely options with this dress, and I really am pleased that that one is in my wardrobe. Now the next make I'm going to share with you today is this. It is a crochet make. I've also got another crochet make that I'm going to be sharing with you in this episode, which is just with me here. I have been doing a lot of crochet lately. I've been really into crochet, so maybe we can expect a bit more of that in the future, along with sewing. Obviously I love sewing and I will always do sewing, but crochet has been creeping in there, so watch this space. But this is the Realm Designs Flower Garden Vest, and it is super lovely. It's got this little tulip pattern, which is just created basically with crochet, obviously, but it's actually really quite simple. It's just like a little puff stitch and chain stitches and then trebles. So for a beginner, it's not as complicated as you might think, but it is super effective and super beautiful. So I just chose this cream color. It's done in a cotton, and my one was done on a size 6 hook, so it actually came together quite quickly. I think I completed the bulk of this one over 2 evenings, so that was actually really quite a quick make. And then obviously the around the edges took a little bit longer to make, but generally it was quite quick. So yes, I used the cream, I used the pink, and I used the green, and I'm super happy with this one. It's just a really lovely little addition. It looks nice over this one. I'll put a few pictures of it up with some of the outfit combinations I've come up with this one, and yeah, just super cute and really lovely and fun to make as well, not too long. So that is the Flower Garden Vest by Realm Designs, and that was the next thing that I am showing you today. Now the next 2 things I'm showing you are 2 t-shirts made with the same fabric but different pattern. So this one, this fabric is really lovely. It's organic cotton from the Good Fabric store, and I did actually buy the ribbing for around the neck. I did top stitching with the twin needle as well around that neckline, and obviously around the sleeve hem and the bottom hem. I didn't initially buy this ribbing, but the neckband just didn't sit very nicely at all. I know there's still kind of some wrinkles around here, but when you're wearing it, it's fine. And I think as I wear it more over time, it will stretch out and it will be absolutely fine. With the actual ribbing that is sold at Good Fabric store as well, that matches the fabric, it came up so much nicer and the neck sits really lovely. Now the pattern I used for this one was the Tilly and the Buttons Billy Jumper. I just wanted kind of a loose fitting t-shirt, and I'll put a picture up for you to see. I think I have achieved that. It's quite baggy, but it's nice to have a t-shirt like that. And I thought I do really like wearing the Billy Jumper jumpers that I have, so I thought that I would try it in a t-shirt fabric, and that has been really successful. So that's that one. Now the next one that I made is the tried and tested Solar Tee by Paper Cut Patterns, and again it is kind of a baggy-ish t-shirt, quite different style. Again, I've gone around with the twin needle, and I did actually use the Aurifil threads for this one, not the purple one. I had the perfect color match for that, so I used them in the overlocker and the machine as well. So that one is constructed entirely by the Aurifil threads, and that is the Paper Cut Pattern Solar Tee. I suppose the main difference between the patterns is the Billy Jumper has the kind of set shoulder, whereas the Solar Tee has the dropped shoulder, which I know that a lot of people don't prefer the drop shoulder, but I quite like it. And these are just really lovely, comfy t-shirts in my wardrobe that I can wear when I suppose it's a little bit cooler, or when I don't want to wear a dress. So yeah, so that's the last thing I'm going to be showing you from the rack today. So the July Aurifil challenge for this month was to make something from scraps, obviously using the Aurifil threads but using fabric scraps. So I decided to make some Stevie knickers. So these are the Paper Theory Stevie knickers. It is a free pattern online if you want to try it out. And I used my jersey fabric scraps to make 5 pairs of lovely new knickers for myself. So that is the thread detail there. I used 50 weight threads, and some of them are the variated threads and some of them are just the solids. So this is actually the scraps from this t-shirt and this is scraps from the lilac t-shirt that you can see, and these are just other jersey scraps. My friend Leah actually gave me the navy ones and she gave me some stripy ones too. So very lucky to have all these scraps, and now I have 5 new pairs of knickers in my wardrobe as well. So that was the July Aurifil Thread Challenge. I will also be sharing these to my Instagram. This is an example of the variated thread. So you can see that as it goes through, it kind of just gently changes colour, which I really love. So yeah, so that's another thing that I've been up to in my sewing room. So another make that I have been doing. Now the next thing I'm going to show you is this. I've put it on the mannequin today. It is this crochet shawl that I have been crocheting, and it is finished. So I've even tied in all the ends. Really love the colour changing in it. I think it's super lovely. This was a red teapot atelier pattern. I will link, I can't remember the name of the actual shawl, but I will link I'll link the pattern in the descriptions below. It's a pattern that I bought off Etsy. And again, really beautiful pattern. This one took me, I have put quite a lot of time into this one. It's taken me just over a month to complete it, but I have put a lot of time into it, but I've really enjoyed it. So I just love the way that it's turned out. And remember, this is going to be a present for my grandmother in New Zealand, so I shall send that soon. But it is really lovely. It's made from a cotton, and obviously this colour changing. Now the colour changes happen kind of randomly, but what I didn't want to happen is see between these sections how the sections are all kind of cohesive. So you can see that they've changed between, like, for example, from the green to the orange to the pink to the blue. So what I actually did was I pulled the green out and then started that row, because I didn't want the quite a contrasting color change to happen between, if that makes sense. So I did actually not use all of the yarn, because between them I stopped and then I started at the beginning. I hope that makes sense. But basically I didn't want like a really obvious color change to happen, say here in the middle of this pattern, and then I don't think that would have looked as good. So just something to be mindful of if you did want to make something like this, because remember my previous YouTube episode I showed you it came in a whole, just one big yarn together and it just changed colour as it went through, so it was all attached. Obviously you can buy separate yarn to make it, you could buy different skeins or whatever, but that's the way I did it. So just maybe something to think about. I'm sure that people wouldn't mind if it changed colour in between those kind of obvious sections, but for me, I didn't want that to happen. So I'm super pleased with the way that that has come out, and yeah, I'll be taking photos of that one, I think, quite soon. So yes, there we go, crochet shawl. So while we're talking crochet, I thought I would share these. These are little crochet scrunchies. They are super sweet. They've actually got this little heart detail. I don't know if you can see this little heart detail on them as they go round. Now this is a free online tutorial by Realm Designs, and as you can see I've made a magenta one and a kind of peachy one, and they are just really lovely. What I have done is put a actual hair tie in the middle there so it stretches out. Once I've tied up my hair, I can pop that on and wear it. You should be able to see a picture of it. But I thought I'd share these with you because they're super cute, and it is a free online tutorial. So really good to know, and I'm hoping maybe to make a few more of them. They're quite quick actually, and I think they make really nice gifts. So another make to share with you today. Now, just a couple of things that I wanted to share with you before I go, and one of them is from Dalston Mill Fabrics. I actually bought this one online. I bought this lovely kind of cotton fabric that's got like a bit of a texture to it. It's a little bit see-through, so it's not entirely opaque, and it's got this gorgeous texture on it. So it's got like a dobby and kind of almost like bordery on glaze effect to it, which I really loved. So I bought that one just in the white. And my thoughts on this fabric, what I will turn it into, is the True Bias Roscoe blouse. So not the dress, this is the dress that's shown on here, but I would like to make the blouse version, this one here. Now, this is a pattern, I've had it for so long, and I did buy the paper pattern ages ago, maybe even years ago, and I've never used it. It's brand new in there, so I would really like to make that one, and I think that would be really lovely because it's kind of loose fitting. Obviously, I would most likely have to wear something under it because it is quite see-through, but I think that that would look really lovely just with jeans, or maybe a skirt, or maybe even over other items. I think it would be a really lovely one for summer. So that is the plan for that. True Bias patterns. I've made the Ogden cami and the Nico top, which I absolutely love, so I'm sure I will love this one too, and I'm really excited to be making a start on that. I did think initially that I could make the Wilder top pattern from Friday Pattern Company, but I decided that I would want, you know, the Wilder gown kind of has the drawstring coming up around the neck. I decided that this neck detail would be just slightly more summery because it's that little bit more open than the Wilder top. I know that some people wear the Wilder top open, but I find that when I do that, it just kind of all gapes out and doesn't keep its shape on me. So I think that this will be really lovely and it will be a really nice one to wear. Now, the last thing I'm going to share with you today is my work in progress. It is the Thea trousers from Tilly and the Buttons. So this is actually my fourth pair of Tilly and the Buttons Thea trousers. This is the back leg. I am kind of halfway through the fly construction for the front legs. I've chosen to use this Kylie and the Machine tag, which says Be the Space, and that's just on the back patch pocket there. So yeah, as I said, I'm like halfway through them, so I'm hoping to finish them soon. So yesterday I went to Jenny's Emporium, which is a fabric store in Lewisham. If you haven't been there before, then I would definitely recommend that you go. The shop assistants are absolutely amazing, and they actually recognized me from YouTube. So hi, if you're watching this episode. It was lovely to see you yesterday, and I will definitely be more regular, I promise, coming and seeing you. But I actually bought this zip. So this is the zip that I'm going to use for the zip fly in the Thea trousers. I also bought the thread, which you saw here, which was like the perfect color for the top stitching. You can't even see it at all. So I got the thread and the zip. I do prefer to have these kind of flatter zips rather than the zips with the metal, because I find that the ones with the thick metal just are a bit bulky across my tummy and I don't like it as much. So I always use these kind of just like nylon zips, and I find that they are really great. So I'm hoping to finish them really soon, and then I'll be able to share them with you once I'm done. So that is it for today's YouTube episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. We did cover quite a lot, but it's good to be sharing with you what I've been up to recently. I know I haven't been on YouTube much, but I have been sewing and I have been making things, so it's lovely to be able to share that with you all. If you haven't liked this clip, then I'd really appreciate it if you could click the like button, and also if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, that would be great. I'm always blown away by how many subscriptions and how many likes and how many comments I get. It's really, really lovely to know that people are watching my YouTube channel and are hopefully enjoying it. So let me know your thoughts on today's YouTube episode. I would absolutely love to know what you think. Did you have a favourite thing that I shared? Did you have any ideas from anything that I shared? What would you like to let me know? I would love to hear from you. I always love hearing what you've got to say. I also love it when you tell me what you're working on. It's always just lovely to hear from you. So as I said, that is it for today's YouTube episode. I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I will see you here again soon.